So it is almost dusk, the sun is setting, but I thought I would show you the finished look outside. I know the sides are different, and I think next time I would do the same thing here and bring it all the way across because I think it looks really neat. And I just think it's so pretty. I think it reminds me of beautiful watercolor painting or beautiful sky at this time of the night. And I just think it's a really neat way to do your makeup and your eye makeup, and it's really easy, and it really doesn't take much time at all, and it doesn't have to be perfect, which I think is great. Makeup should be fun, it shouldn't be perfect, and I really like this way of using both the jewel tones and the spectrum palette, because using it this way allows me to actually use it as a palette in and of itself. I think it's awesome, and there's so much more that you can do with it. I'll show you this again. I think it's just so pretty. This is one of the uses I have found for the spectrum palette, and I will show you how to do this if you're interested in it. I think it's a neat, kind of unique look. So the first thing I did, which I already did on this eye, was to take my glitter glue and put a base all underneath there, underneath here on the lower lash line. And then I took this brush, which is a Sigma Precision flat angled P88 brush. I took this brush in the shade Daybreak, which is this bottom gold, dry, and I just went over the whole thing and a little bit underneath. So what I then did is took my Urban Decay 24/7 in Perversion, and I just put it on the waterline and did my blinky trick, and it went up onto the tight line. And then I took just a regular angled eyeshadow brush in the shade Prank, which is this dark blue, and I just went over the top to seal that in so it does not budge or smudge. I have my shadows more or less wet from doing this side. I am only using 3 eyeshadow brushes for this look, and that is just this generic angled brush. And then I've got this Ulta crease brush, which is just a dome top. And then I've got a Sigma Domed Utility E34, which is a similar kind of brush. It's just that this is a little smaller and more compact. My first step is to go into the shade Flatline, which is their highlight shade, but it doesn't really work as a highlight shade unless it's wet. I'm just going to spritz a little Fix Plus on there, and I'm going to mix it up with the larger of the brushes. So what I'm going to do with that, mirroring this eye or as close as possible, doesn't matter, is take that and highlight where you need to, and you will get some of those chunks, but just take it out. And you want to get that under your brow like that, mostly in the inner corner. You can see how much that lightens that color up by just making it wet. The next step is to use a different brush, or you can use that same brush as long as it's clean. And we're going into the shade Bordello. And same thing, I am taking that basically all the way out and coloring in over where I have gold showing through, but mostly here on the outer part of the mirror here so I can see. Now all this is going to do is just deepen that up a little bit. And if you're uncomfortable at the side, you can go back in with the angled eyeshadow brush and see how that just darkens that up a little bit. Then you can take your angled eyeshadow brush in the same shade, and you can just, clean that up a little bit. I kind of like the messy look, so I'm not trying to clean anything up too much. But see how it just gives it a little bit more of an edge there. I'm also going to take this small angled brush. I am going to take that on my bottom lash line. And that just does the same thing, it darkens it up a little bit. So now we've got like a reddish tone gold. So I washed my brushes because I'm using all new colors now, and I'm going to go into this color Backlash, which is the pink color, larger brush. Basically, we're going over the same area, and it's kind of building like a wing. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I do need to use this mirror though. And you want to start building it onto the crease itself then, so it looks like that. See? Now the same thing, if you want to clean that edge up a little bit, you can take the angled eyeshadow brush and just run it along there to the top you want. The idea for this look is just to look like rainbow, like a beautiful sky, like a watercolor painting. So don't try to be way too precise, just have fun. So I'm taking the angled eyeshadow brush again in that Backlash pink color, and I'm going back over my lower lash line, just like that, and joining it with that side. We're starting to lose daylight here. Now the basic idea here is to start from purple to blue to green, and you want each area to kind of fall over into the next. So starting with the purples, the color I like to start with is the duller of the two. I use the second row and the first row, but I start each row going up with the second one. So this one is flashback. I'm going to take the smaller brush, the Sigma brush, and I am going to mix that up. I'm just going to take that on the outer corner, build it up a little bit, and build that over the pink. And you can take some of it into the pink, like that, into your crease, like that. So then I go into the almond shade, and I do the same thing. And what I like to do with this is keep the bright color at the most outward part of wherever I'm working. So here, just along there, and maybe up a little bit into the crease. Like that. And you can play around with this, you know, it doesn't have to be, like I said, perfect, because it's not. So now that the purple's done, I'm gonna wash my brush again and move on to the blue. And this is where you can really see the difference between the dry shadows and the wet shadows, with the blues and the greens especially. So I'm going to start again with this Evidence color, which is that one right there, and then do the same process with the lighter color. And I'm going to take that right in the center of my eye. And you want to build it up very high up and make sure you take it all the way down as well. You want to blend a little bit this way also. See how that looks? And then you want to take a little bit of this. You want to blend it back. Like that. So I just washed off my brush again, and I'm going to go into this shade, Madness. This is one of my absolute favorite colors to use wet in this palette because it's just beautiful. And I'm actually going to take a lot of this over all of that just because it deepens the color. And you can see the darkness through it. Maybe leave a little on the edge. And then take a little bit to your crease. And take a little bit forward too. Okay, and finally for the greens, I'm going to start with this color, which is Junkie, and then I'm going to work to Protest, which is the greeny green. This is for the inner corner area, so you want to cover up anything that might have moved like that and blend it a little bit into the blue like that. And what I also like to do is to start to take this up just a little bit. Okay, now for the last color that we're going to add in here, we're going to put this protest color right on the inner corner. And then I just pulled it almost like a line up. Okay, put it right there. And then pull that up like that. You want to put it. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back in with a clean brush and into that highlight shade, and I'm just going to clean this up. I'm going to use the just larger fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take this so, and maybe blend in some of the blue like that. Down. I like that kind of wide look, but it's up to you, obviously. Make sure that inner corner is nice and highlighted. And that's essentially the look. And as you can see, this side became a much better wing. I could probably go over here and fix that real quick, but I kind of like the, differences. It's alright. Maybe even just this side turned out a little better. Of course, now I have to do eyeliner, so I should not speak too soon, perhaps. So while this is drying, it is obviously still wet. I am going to take eyeliner, and I have been trying to use the NYX felt tip liner and get myself to be able to use this. And I feel like this is a tricky one. Like, you can either use it really well or it ends up like a disaster. So we're gonna try it. And I'm just using this on my top lid just because I had already lined my waterline and tight line. You want to make sure to keep it close to your lashes too, so when you do mascara it doesn't peek through at you. See, this is where I get into trouble with my dominant hand. And then I'm just gonna draw a little line from like not even quite the outer third, like there. And that's gonna be the basis for where I draw my wing up. Sort of like that, not perfectly straight, I don't care. And then I'm just going to hopefully join it up like that. Close enough to that side? I'd say yes. I'm always better with wing liner on my left side. And now that this is dry, go back over everything with the dry daybreak color, which is that gold there. And I just like to, soften things up. Pulls the colors together. And I'm going to take you out in the outside light while we still have any. But quickly, I want to curl my lashes. And again, I apologize for the bumps on my face. I tried a new mask last night. Don't try new masks before you're doing makeup videos. It's a bad idea. Especially if you have sensitive skin like I do. Okay, so I'm gonna put mascara on. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega the Great, and I'm just using that on the bottom and top lashes. I just kind of really like this right now, and I'm trying to go through all my small tubes of mascara while they're still good, so I'll be right back. I wanted just to show you the look in the light. Sorry if I'm not the best model of all time, and I didn't go over this with makeup just to fix any edges or whatever, but I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have the Urban Decay Spectrum Palette, let me know what ideas you've come up with, and I would really like to hear about them. I just wanted to say again that using the shadows wet has made the Urban Decay Spectrum palette actually a cohesive, usable palette in and of itself for me. As you can see, a legit highlighter now, and it really brings out the colors. And I also think if you have blue or green eyes, it really brings out the color in your eyes as well. I just hope this was a fun, entertaining, and light video for you. It is a very easy and very fast eyeshadow look to do, and I just think it's so beautiful. It reminds me of a watercolor painting, so give it a try if you would like. Give me a thumbs up again, a big old thumbs up, and as always, thank you for watching as well as for your time and support, and I really hope you are all having a happy and healthy day wherever you are in the world, and I am thinking about you. I will see you very soon. Bye!